they actually have a higher chance of being academically successful. They're more likely to be finishing their first year and successfully move into their second year at that campus. And then it also increases the student's ability to complete their bachelor's degree. We know that this is especially true for first generation college students. And I am a first gen student, as are the majority of my staff in the Bobcat Advising Center. So just thinking about all those things that you don't know and having someone as an academic advisor who can help you can be really helpful. The importance of contact with your academic advisor is separate from the importance of contact with your peer educators, like in the Success Mentor program, or with faculty, or with other mentors or caring adults who are in your life. And that could include your family, it could include former high school teachers or other people. But what we talk about at UC Merced is really building your support team. And I hope you will see or have come to see already that your BAC academic advisor and the Bobcat Advising Center is a real important part of your support team. So at UC Merced, every undergraduate student has an assigned academic advisor. So the way that you can find out who your advisor is, you can actually see your advisor's name on your My Degree Path audit, or you can see it in emails that you may have received from your UC Merced email from your advisor. So the Bobcat Advising Center is one of the places that you might be assigned. And if you're a first year, you actually are assigned to us. We are the academic advising home for all first years and every major, all lower division undeclared transfer students, and all undeclared students in every class year. The school academic advising units in the School of Engineering or Natural Sciences or Social Science, Humanities, and Arts, they advise transfer students who come in declared majors, and second, third, and fourth year students who are in declared majors. So if you're a first year, you are with us in the Bobcat Advising Center. The other places that you might have advising, you might see a faculty advisor. For example, if you're a chemistry or a physics major, they have a very active faculty advising program where every student has an advisor in the Bobcat Advising Center, but then they also have a professor who serves as their faculty advisor. And that varies by major. Some majors do that, some majors don't. You might also be in a special program and be working with a program coordinator in Fiat Lux or Guardian Scholars or STEP or Services for Undocumented Students, or you might be a student athlete and be receiving special program advising in those areas. And then if you're pre-health, you might also work with an advisor specifically to talk about preparation for medicine or nursing school or wherever you might be headed. So the Bobcat Advising Center, again, the home of all first year students. In your first year, we hope that you understand that our mission is really to help you think about your personal, your academic, and your career goals. And we really want to promote your student success. We meet with you in advising appointments, walk-in advising, we conduct workshops and webinars, and help connect our students to appropriate resources. We actually have learning outcomes both for our first year students and then separately for students who are undeclared in all class years. And you can find those on our website. But I'll talk a little bit about the first year learning outcomes because those are really important. So in your first year, you're really setting the stage for your college experience at UC Merced. And that's why the things that you do in your first year are just so important. Our goals in the Bobcat Advising Center during your first year, we really want you to take a moment to just reflect and appreciate the path that you took to arrive at UC Merced. Many of our students have overcome significant challenges and know that you were admitted to UC Merced because you deserve to be here. So your academic strengths, your interests are very important no matter what path you took to arrive here. In your first year, you'll want to identify sources of support. And so who are the people, what are the offices that are going to support you throughout your first year? We want you to participate in individual academic advising each semester with your Bobcat Advising Center advisor. So all of our students who are assigned to our office, we meet with them every semester that they're assigned to our office. We also want you to feel empowered as you pursue your academic career and personal goals. We want you to dream big. We also want you to work toward those dreams, and we are here to support you throughout that. During your first year, we also want you to identify experiences that might enhance your career or personal or academic goals. Our team can talk with you individually about research opportunities and internships, leadership opportunities, things that may enhance your resume. It might help you narrow down your choice of major. All of those things are part of the conversation. We also want you to feel empowered to think about your meaning or purpose. You'll hear a lot of people, including our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Charles Neese, ask you, what's your why? Why are you in college? Why are you at UC Merced? And that's really important to think about in your first year because you're considering what your major might be and what path you're headed toward. We also want you to become familiar with the cultural capital. And I have to say that was a term I never heard before I went to college. But cultural capital is really the hidden curriculum in higher education. It's all those things that nobody tells you about. So what do successful students do? Successful students in college might use tutoring even if they came out of high school with a 4.0 GPA. Successful students in college might meet with their advisor and plan their courses so that they can register on time for the courses that they need. All of those are things that our team helps you with. These first year learning outcomes, we are walking with you hand in hand and helping you with all of these. But it's really important to have that connection with your back advisor because we understand that we want to help you with that hidden curriculum. You also want to understand the requirements for your intended major and develop a plan that will let you progress toward that major. Other things in your first year, our goals are to help you really think critically and examine the connection between the decisions that you make and your actions, as well as your interests and your strengths and your values. How is that all put together to help you head toward your major and your choice of career? And then at the end of the first year, we want to help you successfully transition to an academic advisor in the school. So really, working with your back advisor in the first year is something that's going to set the foundation for your experience in the next 3 years and really for completing your degree. We know that there are many, many sources of support and every student has a different set of support folks in their corner. But your Bobcat Advising Center advisor is a support person for you that should always be part of your team because we do want to see you in 4 years. Throw your cap up in the air as you graduate and walk through our beginning statue as you leave UC Merced. So why is getting a college degree important? For some of our students, they want to think about how earning a college degree is going to change their path, not only their path, but perhaps the path of their family and some of their extended family as well. Many of our students join us because they hope to give back to their community, to their family. And the most current statistics, if you're thinking just in terms of earning potential, if you complete your bachelor's degree, the 2020 statistics show that you'll earn an average of more than $26,000 per year than someone who is a high school graduate. What that means over the course of your career is with a bachelor's degree, you will likely earn an average of more than $1 million than somebody who is a high school graduate. It's so important to think again about your why. And your why might be as simple as getting a bachelor's degree so that I can better help my family. And that's a perfectly good reason to go to college and pursue your dreams. What we also know is that the University of California is widely regarded as the best public higher education system in the world, not just in the United States, in the world. You all are superstars to be qualified to come to a UC campus. But attending a UC Research University is really a privilege, not a right. Not every student can get accepted into a UC. And so when you are accepted here, you have that privilege of coming to this institution. There's some responsibility and some initiative that has to come with that. So we also, on our website, we put some of the expectations or responsibilities that are kind of your recipe for success in your first year. Our team really expects you to schedule and complete meetings with your back advisor each semester. What we're able to do, sometimes there are majors that might have a change in their major in the middle of the year, or there might be a new course that's announced. That information is always current with our team, and so we share that with our students as we meet with you. You also want to make sure that you use your UC Merced email whenever you contact anyone on campus. whether it's your advisor or it's a professor or a staff member in financial aid, and include your name and your ID number in each message. That's going to allow the staff to respond to you quicker, and it's going to make sure that you get a response to your questions. And then email, we love it and we hate it, but the expectation is that you are reading your UC Merced email every day, including messages that you get from your academic advisor. For all of you who entered as a first year in fall of 20, we actually started sending messages to you from your advisor on August 21st of last year, and you've been continuing to get messages from your advisor the whole year. We really recommend that you think about organizing your email so that you have an email folder for your academic advisor. You can throw all the messages in there, or you can route them to go into that email folder, and then you've got all that information right at your fingertips. We also expect you, because the campus expects you, to use My Degree Path to develop an academic plan. This may be really scary when you first come in. What is My Degree Path? How do you use it? But your academic advisor in the Bobcat Advising Center will help you with this. Some of the things that you have to plan to complete in the first year, you have to complete the UC entry level writing requirement, or LWAR, by the end of your second semester. So if you tested into writing 1, you would have to complete writing 1 with a C or higher by the end of your second semester. You have to complete Spark 1 by the end of your second semester with a C- or higher. You have to meet the UC Merced normal progress to degree, which is 30 units completed per year with a 2.0 overall GPA. And then if you're intending a major in the School of Natural Sciences, or you're declared in a major in that school, you have to meet the early progress policy that says your first math and chem courses have to be completed with a C- or higher. To get started with My Degree Path, it's really kind of a fun tool once you begin to play around with it. But our team has put together a couple of videos that we have on our site. They're very short videos, but you can use them to kind of get you started and start pulling courses into a rough plan. We also have sample graduation plans for every one of the majors at UC Merced linked from our website. So we'll take you into the school sample grad plans for each major. Other things that you can do in your first year that we really hope will help you be a recipe for success. We want you to think about and confirm your choice of major. And to do that, really learn more about yourself, learn about the major, read about the courses in that major, consider your career path. We actually have a tab on our website, and there's a tab for first years, there's a tab for undeclared students, and then we've got lots of information under each tab. We've got links too that can help you. We want you to actively engage with campus resources and programs that are going to support your academic and career success. And then review, if you're thinking about different majors or if you're undeclared, review our major exploration activities checklist. So we've put together kind of a one-stop shop where you can kind of go through and see if there are some things on there that might help you with your decision. And then really prepare for your appointments with your advisor. You're very fortunate to meet with an advisor on our team. I have a wonderful team, and they are all people who are completely dedicated to the success of their students. So think about that. Get ready for your appointment. Put together a whole list of questions and make the most use of that time. We also want you to declare a major before you reach 90 total units. So you may know this, but this is something that's impacting a lot of our students earlier than it used to. So UC Merced requires that you declare a major before you hit 90 total units, but your total units will include work that you took in high school. That might be AP exams, international baccalaureate exams, college courses you took in high school. And so for a lot of our students, it means that they're having to declare a major earlier than they had originally planned to do so. The general rule that the schools will say here at UC Merced is that you should take sequential courses for your intended major in your first and second year, and be sure that you're declared in your intended major before the 5th semester. This is the best way to ensure your success and to make sure that you have the option to declare that major before you reach the maximum unit total. Also, understand the maximum number of terms that are allowed at UC Merced. So if you're intending a major in Shaw or in the School of Natural Sciences, you have 9 semesters to do your degree. Summers don't count against that. So if you choose to take summer courses, you don't have to do that, but you might want to. That will not count against you in the 9 semesters. And then if you're headed toward engineering, they give you 1 extra semester, so you have 10 semesters to complete your degree. But really, consult with your Bobcat Advising Center advisor. That's an expectation we have. We are here to help you, and we can make your life easier because we may have answers to questions that you have that you would have otherwise spent tons of time trying to research on your own. So the what of the Bobcat Advising Center, we provide repeated in-person, now it's Zoom while we're on remote operations, but contact with your advisor. Your advisor is there for appointments, for walk-in advising, which is drop-in without a scheduled appointment, for workshops, for email if you have quick questions. We also want to, again, introduce you to some of that hidden curriculum or some of that cultural capital of higher ed, academic requirements, rules, deadlines. We reinforce the message too that academic advising is a shared responsibility. It's not just your advisor telling you something, it's the discussion between the two of you about what's important to you and where you might be headed. We also help you certainly think about courses and majors and co-curricular activities, and think about your choice of major and where you're headed with that. And then again, we promote that transition to your school advisor at the start of your 2nd year. The how we do that is, again, every student assigned to the Bobcat Advising Center has an actual specific advisor. You are required to meet with your back advisor at least once every semester that you're working with us, but it's very common for our students to meet very frequently with their back advisor. Your advisor is here to help you. Don't feel funny about contacting them, but just know that each advisor has about 350 students. And so please don't wait, everybody, until registration week to try and come in that week. We also send monthly emails to all of our students that include just-in-time knowledge. We include opportunities that may have popped up. I know in fall we sent out, there were some free, really interesting career and professional development conferences that students had a chance to go to virtually for the first time ever. We sent out a scholarship announcement in the fall for the first time ever that a scholarship was being offered. So those emails, I know sometimes they're long, but they have different sections, so you can find the sections that apply to you. So how do you put all the pieces together? Again, what can you do now to spring into your 2nd year and to be ready for that? So talking about academic advising, you now understand how academic advising works at UC Merced. You know that the Bobcat Advising Center is your home in the 1st year. Explore our site. If you haven't been on our webpage, we try to include a lot of different information and links that might be helpful to our students. And meet with your back advisor during spring. You heard me say, don't wait until registration week. Now is the time to make an appointment, to start talking about your plans and what you might want to do in the summer. And our advising team is ready to help you. Our appointment calendars are available 3 weeks at a time on a rolling basis. So if something is closed on one day and there aren't any appointments available with your advisor, check again the next day or the day after that, because there will be additional appointments that open. Other things, thinking about spring semester, think about your major. So again, consider your personal goals, your academic goals, your career goals, and really confirm or explore your choice of major. The other thing that you might consider is we have a lot of students who have never thought about a minor until they meet with their back advisor. We have minors at UC Merced in areas that we don't have majors in. So think about whether that might be something to help you or that you might be interested in. Create a rough draft graduation plan on My Degree Path. You can always change it. It is not set in stone, and you can just kind of begin to play with it. But as I mentioned, we've got a quick how-to video on our site where you can look at that and kind of see how to get started. We've got sample graduation plans linked off of our site. And then just know that at UC Merced, every student in their 2nd year has to load a graduation plan in My Degree Path. So playing around with it now in spring of your 1st year, it's a great time to kind of get a head start and throw some courses on there and start to plan out where you might be headed in the next couple of years. Other things that you could do now is think about summer. Are you planning to go to summer school? Would you like to take courses? Summer session at UC Merced is a great way to catch up or get ahead. And you may have noticed that summer session has announced their registration dates. So everyone will have an assigned summer session registration date between February 22nd and February 25th. You do not have to go to summer session, but you will have an assigned registration date so you can get into courses if you'd like to. On Monday, March 1st, students who don't go to UC Merced can start to enroll in summer classes. So if there's something you really want to take, I would encourage you to register during your assigned time, because otherwise courses will close the following week. The open course list is now available, and they've announced that most of the classes in summer will be online. I think there are 5 courses maybe for engineering seniors that might be offered in person, but everything else you would be able to do remotely. And if you enroll in 6 units or more, if you receive financial aid during the school year, or you're going to receive it next year, you can apply for summer financial aid, and you can get more information on the summer session website. And if you are someone who thinks you might want to go to summer a couple times, there's a new unique opportunity where you can do the entire psychology minor in 2 summers. So there are lots and lots of psych courses offered. Other things, if you decide you don't want to go to school at UC Merced in the summer, but you'd like to take a course at a community college or another 4-year school, know that you are allowed to take summer classes at another school. You're not allowed to take a course at another school during the academic year with the concurrent enrollment policy. But in the summertime, you can take a course anywhere as long as it doesn't overlap by even 1 day with our academic year. So if you're looking at courses at a community college this summer, the course would have to start May 15th or later, and it would have to end by August 17th. Those are fine to do. You'd also want to check that college's website for their registration date and their policies. And then the big question is, when you're thinking about a course at a community college or another 4-year school, will that course transfer to UC Merced? And there's some wonderful resources on the web that you can use. Assist, which is really easy to remember, it's just assist.org, is the California Community College Transfer Guide to every UC school. So you can check on there if you're thinking about a course. We also use Transferology, which can be both 2-year and 4-year courses. And then the School of Natural Science faculty have compiled a list of math, chem, and bio courses that other students have taken, and the faculty have already reviewed those and approved them, and they've posted them on the Natural Science website. So if you're thinking about taking, calculus at UC Berkeley in the summer, you can go on that website and check for that. And then just be sure if you take a summer course at another school that you send your transcript to UC Merced before August 15th. The great thing about taking summer courses is that if those units are posted on your record by September, that will improve your registration date for spring when we register in November, because the more units you have, the earlier your registration date is. Other things that you can think about preparing for fall registration. So the week of March 8th, the class schedule will open for fall 2021 classes. Your registration dates will be posted in your portal during that week. And then remember that mid-semester grades will go on later in March. So if you're not doing well in a course, talk with your Bobcat Advising Center advisor. Mid-semester grades, if you get a D+ or lower in any lower division class, you'll have a mid-semester hold on your record that will have to be cleared before you can register. And then for the first time in school history, they are expanding our registration window to make it easier for students. Some of you may have noticed that sometimes during peak periods of registration will go down and it may be frozen for a while. So starting this semester, there's going to be a 2-week window with assigned registration dates for every student. So you'll have an assigned date between Monday, April 5th to Friday, April 16th. Again, those are dates you might want to put on your calendar or put in your phone so that you're checking March 8th to see what courses and what registration date you have, and then making sure during that time in April that you're registering. And fall registration, that kind of leads into this next slide. Really develop the habit of enrolling in 12 or more units at your assigned time. That's when you'll get the best choice of classes or class times or professors that you prefer. It's also the easiest time to register because the longer you wait, the more courses are full. You do have to be in 12 or more units for financial aid to pay into your account to pay your fees by the fee payment deadline. And also enrolling at your assigned time is going to save you from all of those somewhat annoying phone calls from our office and from the Students First Center and all those emails. Really, it's just a great habit to get into because you'll be doing this every semester, and why not do it and make it easy on yourself? Starting the week after registration ends, there's another important thing that happens, and some of our students got caught in that this semester. So the professors have to assign TAs, and they have to figure out who's teaching which courses, usually 1 to 2 months before classes begin. So students are expected to enroll during their assigned registration time, and then the faculty pull the course lists and they start to cancel sections that are low enrollment. So if you're in 0 units and you were hoping for a certain discussion section, it might be canceled if there aren't enough students in it. So again, enroll during your assigned time. And one of our students, well, actually more than one of our students, told their advisors this year that they have friends who go to UC Merced who are seniors who told them that there's no reason to register during their assigned time. That really is not true. That may have been true years ago when classes were always open, but that is not true any longer. So make your life easy, register during your assigned time and do some preparing for that so that you know what courses you're hoping to do. Our team recommends that you have your schedule finalized before classes begin in a particular semester, and definitely by no later than the 5th day of classes. The reason for that is that we know and we can tell that students who enroll later in classes often have a difficult time catching up, and they often get a lower grade in that class than students who were enrolled at the beginning of the semester. So again, think in advance, talk with your advisor, and hopefully get the schedule that you want so you can start off in all the classes you need. Log on to CAT courses daily. This will become increasingly important over the next year. So financial aid, the federal financial aid regulations have changed a little bit and now require that universities actually monitor attendance of students who receive federal financial aid. The way that we can do that at UC Merced is if you are active in CAT courses, if you're logging into CAT courses, you're reading your assignments, you're submitting your papers in there, that helps with verifying that you were attending or engaged in a particular course. So again, just a good habit to get into, read your email every day, log into CAT courses every day. That again is just a habit of successful students. And then kind of putting the pieces together in terms of units and GPA. So what do you need? What will keep you on track at the end of your first year? So I mentioned normal progress, the normal progress policy for all students at UC Merced. So the normal progress policy says you should pass at least 30 units each year. The great news is that for many of our first years, if you're coming in with some units that you have already earned through AP or through college courses in high school, that will add to the 30 units that you might be doing this year. So if you took 12 units in fall, you're in 12 units in spring, but you brought in 10, 12 units of AP work, that would add to that 30 units each year. Know that you can repeat up to 16 units of D+ or lower, but both grades will stay on your transcript and the second grade will count in your GPA. And then the repeated course, when you're thinking about normal progress, if you repeat a course, it only counts once toward your total units. So we always tell students, if you can at all possible, work to get a C- or higher in your courses, because every time you have to repeat something, it actually is kind of putting you behind in that you can't take a different course that next semester. You need to earn a 2.0 or higher GPA each semester, a 2.0 or higher cumulative GPA. That's the normal progress at UC Merced. And then just a couple of courses that you have to pass in your first year. So as part of the general education requirements, every first year has to take Spark 1 and pass it with a C- or higher by the end of the second semester. If you placed into Writing 1, if you did not complete the University of California entry-level writing requirement before you arrived at UC Merced, you have to take Writing 1 and pass it with a C or higher by the end of your second semester. So those 2 courses in your first year are really important. And some of you won't have to take Writing 1. You may have tested beyond that and started in Writing 10. And then units, first year courses, other things to think about here. So the early progress policy in the School of Natural Sciences, I mentioned earlier, you have to complete your first chem and first math class with a C- or higher before your third semester. That's required for everyone in SNS. And then if you do receive financial aid, you'll need to meet the federal financial aid satisfactory academic progress. So it's really good to review the SAP requirements. And there's also a little video that our financial aid office has put together so that you can see a visual of what the requirements are in SAP. So putting the pieces together. So just thinking about your life, and I'm really glad you're here today because it's good to take a minute to kind of reflect on what you're doing. Your college experience is 4 years, and it really does set the stage for your life and your career. You have the privilege of working with your Bobcat Advising Center advisor for 1 year. And our team really loves working with our students. We want to help you. We want to set you on the path to success. And we hope that you take advantage of working with your advisor. On June 1st, all of our first years in a declared major will transition to a school advisor. All of our students who are undeclared will remain with us until they declare a major. But think about your dreams. And I put this quote by John Maxwell in here: dreams don't work unless you do. What is it you hope to accomplish? Again, what's your why? What are you doing? And really think about what are you going to do this semester that's going to help you work toward your goals and this precious life that you have. So my final slide, again, I really just want to remind you that you are at UC Merced because you belong here. You are good enough to be here. You matter. The work that you're going to do and the things that you're going to accomplish in your career are going to make a difference for a lot of people. Our team knows that. We support that. We want to see you fly and succeed and go for your dreams. So we say, really, keep calm and see your academic advisor. But know that our team is really here to support you, and we are cheering you on and walking beside you and helping you and answering your questions and wanting to do everything we can to see you make it to where you would like to go. So that's my last slide. So at this point, I don't know if we want to open it up to questions.
Yes, I definitely think we should open it up to questions. Thank you so much for that presentation, Michelle. That was very, very informative. I even learned a few things, and I'm in my senior year.
Well, yay.
So